Hey, man. Sorry. Mic check. Can you hear me? Fantastic. Nice to meet you, man. Cool. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to get some coffee. One moment. I'll be here in a minute, guys. One moment, please. I'm there already, Fernando. Okay, I'm just waiting on Fernando to join in.
Hello.
Hello.
Babe, when I came in.
Okay, so
forget
about
Were you looking at Instagram?
What?
When I came in,
everybody here, right?
I believe we are waiting for Rob.
Not right now. Before, when I came in the room, you were like laying here. Were you looking at Instagram?
No, I was looking for a book.
Because when I got in, you were like, oh, and I was like,
No.
It looked like. Okay, sure.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't.
How are you feeling? Good. Nice. Let's go. The cameras. I love you, baby.
Okay, so now we are
Can you
all.
do me a favor? Can you make some coffee?
Okay, so Rob is here. Yeah, I think we can start. So yeah, we've had a call just a few minutes ago with actually scheduled with Carlos, and we wanted to review this call, but also Rob joined and asked to show the current state of the application. Unfortunately, I had some issues, but guys have an explanation. I wasn't prepared at that moment, so sorry for that. And now we can walk you through the application and tell you about any things which we should pay attention to, so everything works properly.
Okay, so I'll share my screen then. Let's go through the app. There might be a problem I have encountered right now, that JEW token is staying in the cookies. So when you will be testing and changing accounts to mock multiple users, you're supposed to clear those cookies. Though we'll be fixing on that. But anyway, can you see the screen, right? Okay, right now I will try to reproduce the bug so that you will be aware of what I'm talking about. I have created, previously I have created a user, so I have cookies right now in use, and I will create another user. And right now logging in. Will probably not update the state of the user, which is right now not logged in. That's a bug. We are aware of that. You can just clear the cookies and refresh the page and log in one more time, just for the development purpose, just for the testing purposes right now. So I'll just log in with test 700. And right now it should work fine. As I said, we know we actually know why the bug is appearing, and we will be fixing on that shortly. But anyway, when you're logged in and you have 2 accounts, and then you can just try to connect your wallet, and I'll connect to the first account then. And I can create a token, provide some image. For demonstration purposes, I won't put it on sale instantly, but if you have this inbox checked in, then you can put an NFT on price on sale instantly for a fixed price. I won't be doing right now because you also have an option to not list it instantly, so it will just appear in your profile. And let's go through MetaMask acceptations, which might take some time, but is basically just waiting for the contract to go through. And then you have approve, which I will do. And again, waiting for the contract to go through the blockchain. Okay, transaction is done. We can go click done, and then we can see an item listed. This is a demo test by me, which I created just now. If you click it, then you go to the single NFT page. It is tagged as not listed. I'm the owner, and I'm the current creator, which is obvious for now. Let's go back to the profile page. We can list it for sale, which I didn't do before. I can list it for sale, for example, 0.0055 Ethereum, and click put it on sale, and then accept a MetaMask transaction, and wait for it to go through the blockchain. This waiting process is independent of us. It's basically blockchain thing. Okay, so the item got listed. This is a demo test by me. We've got the price for which I listed. We've got the dynamic price in dollars and the royalties. We will have to pay on each transaction. That's money that will go to the original creator of the NFT. So right now I'm able to log out yet again, I will just clear cache because of the bug I've told you before. Refresh the page, and then I'll log into my another account which I have created just before the call, which is test 600. Disconnect current MetaMask account because we're emulating another user. Oops. And then I get logged in as a test 600. I'm not really sure if I do have something on here. I actually got MetaMask connected, the previous address, which would basically this would not happen if we have separate MetaMask accounts. So right now I am the current owner because the MetaMask account got listed as me. I'm right now the owner because I did have the same MetaMask wallet connected. But I might try to buy some NFT that I have created just before. For example, Night Test, which is its owner is right now test 120 and creator is test 600, which basically this account was the creator. It got purchased from me, and now right now I'll purchase it back. Connect the wallet to my second account. Okay, I actually connected the same account. Maybe this one. I'm not really sure who's. That would be the perfect use case because it's not my NFT and it's not connected to my wallet at any case, and I will be able to buy it. That should be simple enough. There are of course some problems when testing it like that because we are just now emulating the users, and if I connect the same MetaMask to two accounts, there might happen things like tokens changing owners, which is obvious because we're just fetching it from the current MetaMask account. But as you can see, if I will buy an NFT from a completely independent owner, which is somebody of you I'm not really sure of, whose fancies. Never mind. Right now I'm the owner of it, and it will get listed in here. I refresh the page, hopefully. It did not.
Oh no.
Okay, but I'm the owner, though. I'm not really sure why it doesn't get listed right now. There might be some issue. We had to go through the application. There are some bugs, of course, especially regarding the deploy that we've been having, because there were some incompatible issues. Okay, that's basically. I'm not sure why it doesn't get listed. We'll have to just debug it and work it through. That's why you are required to test the application and list what's not working on the application. There's one bug I'm fully aware of right now, which is not clearing the JWS token when you're switching accounts, and we'll fix that. But on the other things, we will have to have a feedback to fix them.
I believe Nazar yesterday has tested all the user stories we had marked as, let's say, done from our side, and there are some issues as subtasks. We could review it.
That's basically the current state of the app. It's just now it's not working, right? But we'll have you work through it. Test it, and we can fix all the bugs in here. And
Thanks for this, by the way. Do we have a repository of the bugs? Where do we keep track of the bugs?
We're keeping it on Asana, as Nasar told us, that we should just add a subtask on to Asana user story.
Okay.
Oksana, if we've spotted problems like in this one, do you want us to filter them through you and then you put them onto Asana to avoid duplicates and make sure you've understood them properly? Or do you want us to add them directly onto Asana? Like,
I think if you find something, you can just put it directly to Asana, and in case we don't understand what is it about, we could ask you. And also, as we have told yesterday with Boris, we would consult with you all the solutions we are making in terms of like technical decisions. So if something is not really obvious how to solve, and there are a few ways, we would just consult it with you.
okay, and then have we got a so basically create it directly in Asana and then assign you as the owner of that ticket, and then you can triage them.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about
okay.
priorities? Have we established the kind of like P1, P2, P3 threshold? Like, let's take a case in point. You've got like a in the URL there are uppercase characters, and they should all be normalized to lowercase so that there's never any uppercase chars in the URL. It's minor, probably like a P3, but
Okay.
have we formalized how we report them to make sure that we're doing the most urgent and important things?
In terms of bugs, we can just maybe get it in the comments and so on, because to be honest, we don't have the list of the bugs. For now. Of course, we have a few we are aware of, and we know it should be fixed.
Okay,
But
we'll come up with a priority schedule, a
yeah.
definition of that,
Sure.
and then get that over to you, and we will use that for everything. So Boris, we can pick that up and decide how we want to do
Yeah.
that. It needs some sort of like formal.
Yeah, exactly.
Venezuela.
Right now it's comments in the cards, which is
UK.
But eventually it would be nice to have like separate cards for bugs, because what we are doing right now is like moving a huge tasks. Like as a user, I'd like to sell an NFT, and we move it back to in progress only because of like minor stuff. So it would probably be better to have like separate tasks for bugs, like in Jira.
Yeah, we'll give them a category of bug, and if you can collate them or relate them your end, I think that makes more sense. So we'll just put them in there and assign them to you, Oksana.
Sure.
Because I think you need to do that work to schedule them into the right people.
That's the office.
Yeah, sure. Once you have the bugs and the priorities, then just feel free to assign it to me. And also, yeah, we have right now also importing NFTs. It's ready, but it's yet only on our develop, and it's not deployed yet. We hope to have it, today or at latest on Monday deployed. I don't know if you would like to see it now on localhost, or it's no value for you.
Yeah, can do. If that's the way to do it, then anything that gives us visibility. Just recapping for the people who weren't on the call earlier, you obviously removed the tags, which were, is it related to, I can't remember what they are, but there's 5 or 6 categories that were in the designs and are in the front end, but we haven't got data for. So if we want to preserve those categories, we're going to have to analyze however many NFTs we're pulling from OpenSea, sort them into buckets, and then provide you those buckets as an array in the file. So well, I don't know what our plan is for that. Do you want to just remove them from MVP, or do you want to attempt to try and create some categorization on the import level? Who's answering that question? Is that so? Fernando, have you got a view on that one? Do you want to? Shall I brief Clock in to try and create categories at that point and do like 6 categories or something?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure if we are not messing up two things, because initially we talked about scraping something else. We talked about like having the most popular categories, and that would be visible in the discovery page. But I'm not sure if it should be imported by a user like manually to the application.
It definitely should be imported by the user, and because we're not doing minting, I know you've got the ability to add a category when you mint something, but actually no, it needs to be a property of all the NFTs, or just removed from MVP. I think we'll take that particular one offline, but
Could play poker.
yeah, if you want to, if you can show us a local version that has got any additional stuff that we won't have seen through that demo, then I can't see the harm in doing that.
I can also show notifications page, which I've been working on regarding bidding functionality. That's on the local host, which is not currently deployed.
Sure. Okay.
So let's maybe start with Patrick and with listing, and then.
Okay, so let me show my
Okay.
screen. And this this thing, the importing of NFTs, it's basically already on the deploy, but we forgot to remove just one line of code that blocked it. That's the list of these acceptable NFTs, and we asked on your Slack channel to know if we should remove the list completely or just add some new addresses or some new way of scraping data
This motherfuckers, I'm sure.
to get the addresses of the most popular collections. Because the thing is, the tokens were not displayed because those addresses were not added on that list. The list is hard-coded, so it's sometimes tough to predict what should be displayed here. But yeah, I will show. Okay, there's some error in sharing screen. Do you see my screen or?
No, we can't.
Because it tells me I'm already showing.
And
You can be.
okay, question about hard coding the list. Is that, who made that decision?
Decision of what?
About hard coding the list. You mentioned that the list is hard coded, and that makes things slightly less flexible.
I can explain it. The problem is initially the business problem was having a lot of junk in the user profile. So at some point we decided to have only confirmed hard-coded list of collections that we can use.
Okay.
And yeah, so we don't have all of the junk you create like during testing and stuff. But it means that if you use all of the NFTs outside the 10 collections we agreed on, then there might be some problems.
And each time we want to add or remove a new collection, we essentially need to redeploy?
Yeah, to fix this problem, I guess that we have to redeploy the application.
Okay.
Okay, so here I'm on localhost. There's some account on the Rinkebit test network, and if we navigate to our profile, it's our token. So under the mask, we imported from Moralis everything that's connected to our wallet address. Then we checked on the backend if we should import it or not, and after that, finally, we could display some NFTs. The empty NFTs, I mean those that don't have the image, are probably because those images are hosted on IPFS, which we are not supporting now, but it's not a big deal, I believe. And okay, I'm not gonna show you the pagination because there's under the 30 NFTs, but if we have lots of NFTs, then we do not display them at once, of course, but if we hit the bottom of the page, it loads another NFTs. So yeah, that's how it looks like. It's pretty fast though. I mean, I tested it with like 200 NFTs, and it worked really well for me. And yeah, on another deploy, it will be ready, so we will be able to test it because, as I mentioned, there's just one line of code to add, and that's everything.
Totally.
Can we get an update on that, or should we move to notifications?
Can I ask a quick question about the media? So specifically on this page, there's a profile picture, a color picture, and then the actual media embedded within these NFTs. Where are they being served from at the moment?
Sorry, could you repeat?
There's three different types of media coming from this page, as in you've got the JPEG asset for the cover image at the back, and then also for the profile image of this like test user, and then you have the media, so the two pictures of the gentleman with the hair there. Are they all coming from Amazon? Is it EC2? Is it S3? Or is media from the NFTs coming from IPFS? What's the current state?
They're coming from the ES3 bucket on the AWS.
Okay.
So everything's coming from one S3 bucket at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
It's basically we have not fully disconnected Web 2 and Web 3 for now. I believe backend for it is okay. I think Shimon Nova contacted Lewis on that. He said that Lewis confirmed that connecting with MetaMask is fully working and is giving back a JWT token. But we will still have to remove some things and check if every call to backend is working okay right now regarding these changes. So I believe those images will. I don't know if they should be hosted anywhere decentralized.
Yeah, like the thing is that we need to use IPFS because I talked to Fernando and Fayre has an agreement with Protocol Labs, and that means that we have to use IPFS for NFTs. So when the DOR provides the Pinata configuration info, then we at Sky will be able to move the files and store them on IPFS.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember we have talked about it, but there wasn't any following card regarding our work or anything. We just talked about it, and we haven't got clear instructions that we have to prioritize it right now because we've been working on other things like deploying and checking the bugs and fixing things.
And given that you obviously have knowledge within SkyGate that we want IPFS to use, because NFTs don't really work that well without decentralized storage. Did you document it anywhere? How come you're having this discussion now? And so on. Because you seem to be agreeing now that IPFS is the way to go, and it seems that the dev team didn't know that before.
Yeah, that's right. Because we have been fixing previous developers' work. I mean, they have been using IPFS indeed. We have changed it to Web3 buckets since we agreed on that we should firstly connect user via Web2 and then via Web3. Then that's how current application is working right now. Actually, that you will have to connect the user, log in the user register, and log in the user via Web2, and then you will connect your MetaMask, which will get assigned to your profile. And then you can make every backend call with a JWT token. So basically, we have resigned of that solution while we were developing, because at some point Lewis said that it would be great to have everything listed in your profile, even though if you are not logged in. So like you are a user, and then you get to connect, and you are able to access a community. And if you are a user that connects via MetaMask, you are able to access every token in your blockchain. That's basically the reason why we didn't do it in the first place, because we assumed that user will connect to Web2 anyway and then connect to Web3, in which case there wouldn't even be a problem with IPFS because we wouldn't have to store it on IPFS.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, by the way, now I think that when we switch to Asana and we start having all the descriptions and stuff, it will be easier to avoid stuff like that, because it was only a matter of misunderstanding. I'm not sure, I wasn't here at the moment, but IPFS is not the only way of like storing the images, the NFTs on blockchain. So there are other solutions. So I think that's the main reason why we have to use IPFS is the strategic cooperation with the protocol labs, right? That's why we use it.
Yeah, of course, during the development, there were some changes. Not everything was clear at the first because we have been given some instructions, and then sometimes those instructions changed, which is obvious. That's why current state of the app could be done better and could be started in a way better. But the same thing, for example, was with the old backend and new backend, which we finally rewritten. If we were to, work on the old tech stack, it would be way worse, which I believe is the case right now, that we were trying to merge old functionalities from the old working backend into our new backend. And we should have just cleared everything and start working anew.
Yeah, but now as we have the requirements, like in Asana, I think it will be easier for the developers to not do any mistakes and understand everything better.
All right, so Gabriel, you can show notifications if you would like to.
If you want to, I can show sample notifications that I have created regarding bidding tasks, which we are working right now. I believe this task will be finished by the end, at the beginning of the next week, basically, because notifications are working fine. I don't have, right now, I don't have any info from backend, and here we have it mocked. But this is basically how the notification page will be will look like. Of course, it can be changed in the future. Though I have 3 mocked cards, which will get redirected to a specific URLs that are provided from the backend. Here I will redirect to a non-existing one, so that's why here it displays a blank page. And also user, after it clicks, there will be a backend call that we should clear indication that we have read it, and it will be unread, like the card on the bottom. You will be also able to mark all as read, which is right now updating the state on the front end. And it will clear it, but it will come back after a few seconds, because every 10 seconds I fetch those mocked data, which is just simulating the backend. And basically, you can also see in the header there is a notification. If I clear all that were marked as unread, then the notification disappears. So if there will be a working backend and it will be deployed, if a new notification comes up, then it will show up, and so you can just click on it, or you can mark all as read. And let's say you've got a bidding offer here, like this one. Someone bidded on your NFT, and if you click it, it will redirect you to a single item page, so you will be able to see it, that someone bidded on your NFT, which will appear in here, I believe, when you change tabs from info to bids. That's basically all I've been working on right now. I mean, I've been working on it yesterday and today for some hours.
Right. Okay. Well, there's lots of work to be done here. I think what I want to do is try and focus on the bits that unblock any aspects of like the front end experience, right? So on the discover page, what other bits of information are you missing that need to be in the database in order to display that page? So, for example, when we talked about categories, we just need to identify all the things that you need in order to do that.
Okay, yeah, I've heard Oksana told me about your previous call and on those categories. I can refer to that. We haven't really agreed on specific categories that we want to include right there. So these ones are not these ones are mocked categories. So you'd have to change the scrape data anyway, or just include the key and then pass values.
I think that's what I'm trying to do. Like, you gave us a data shape for an item that needs categories in it, but on the actual discover page within the template, there's a lot of information there, like most popular or most recent, or there's all the history of bids. Do you need that provided to you as well? Is that additional scraping data, or is that stuff that you're working on, or is that just not? How are we going to make sure we've got enough content to have like all of the bits of the current template populated?
I mean, if you want to directly list every item in the blockchain in the Discover page, not only those which are in our backend, then of course we would need some data shape like this. We have sent you data shape previously, but we have thought that it's regarding single user profile, which when you go to your profile, then of course we would need fields like we have sent you before. Like, I don't know, name, for example, or a background image, or you don't know, a description or something like that. But for the Discover, we would have to agree on the data if it's okay right now. If we don't want to change it a slide and then act accordingly. I'm not really sure if those, for example, categories are like. Okay, art, game, photography, music, video. Don't we want to change them, or we'll just in fact scrape them from your data sheet? That's basically will appear dynamically on the page.
I think it's something that we need to discuss internally and then provide you with a recommendation. You build the shape for it, and we'll give you the data for it. I think it's just something that obviously hasn't been thought through entirely yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That we are talking about not getting the work done, but we have not discussed this one thoroughly. We will have to discuss.
The bit I'm struggling to work with is to understand what components that you're actually working on. So do we take this working build as like this is everything that you've got completed so far? So for example, Marek's given us a Figma file for a modal design that allows you to swap NFT A for NFT B, or A and B for C and D. I've seen that in Figma. I don't know whether or not you're working on those aspects. Are they coming, or are they on hold?
Yeah, right now the single and the most current. I mean, the source of truth for the project right now is everything that is on Asana. In staging and in progress. These are the cards that we worked on and that need to be on the MVP. And as far as I know, we have discussed and came to an agreement that we will not do trading functionality for the MVP, even though there are, of course, designs for it. But we'd have to think about it like I don't know, a separate task, which is will be like trying to get to the design, trying to get the app to work as on the designs. But I believe for now, it's the most important thing is to launch an MVP, and trading is not part of MVP.
So you're right, it's not part of MVP, but I'm just trying to clarify whether or not you have engineers working on it as well. There's a lot of different personnel on the team. Is everybody exclusively working on things that you believe are MVP, or is there any work happening on things that are kind of
work happening
further down?
Full team is working on MVP launch.
Exclusively on MVP.
Yeah, exclusively. We have assigned the cards to our developers. I mean, those who are for the MVP launch. We do not have any spare developers that can make designs for other things.
Okay, so what we need to do as quickly as possible is to get Carlos a kind of full understanding of all of the items that you intend to build for that as well, so you can reason about the project. So I think, that Carlos, have you got any thoughts about what you want your next steps to be to make sure you've understood all of these cards? You want to do a session with who's the right person your end to kind of talk Carlos through all of the MVP cards and make sure he's understood what they are, so he can kind of ensure that progress is being made on them and triage appropriately. Is that you, Oksana, or Jakob? Like,
I can do that. I have been previously talking to Carlos and walking him through the app, so he will be able to start testing it. And I've also talked about our tech stack, and I can walk through with him through those cards and explain to him what needs to be achieved right there.
Okay, and can you just give me a quick overview of from a DevOps perspective? Like, I understand you've got a single EC2 instance that's running Docker, and then the app's Dockerized but not horizontally scaled. Is that correct?
Yeah, right now we have actually 3 containers. We have had 3 containers. We've been working on 3 containers: front end, back end, and database. It was Dockerized. But we have moved to another solution with help of Jagos, which is right now our architect of the backend. And right now we are only Dockerizing a database, which we're storing in an image, and we're developing front-end and backend locally.
Yeah, but he will also, as I have promised yesterday to Boris, that Grzegorz will prepare a goal architecture till Monday, so we can see it and discuss it.
But what specifically is deployed to AWS now that is standing up that app? Is there your 3 different Docker containers? Are they all running on that EC2 instance?
I'm not really sure about that. I can give you an explicit explanation regarding this topic.
So who is it who's actually doing the deployment?
It's Grzegorz who is helping us, but he's not like.
It's not a full-time developer.
It's not a full-time developer, and he's not charged, actually. So he's just helping us, and yeah. So and he made a deploy, and also has his vision of the architecture, which he will prepare for Monday.
Understood. Okay, well, I need to get a call with Jagos as quickly as possible to understand what he's done, what he intends, make sure we're intentional about that.
Yeah, I can organize it.
One of the most important things we need to do as quickly as possible is set up an independent production and staging pipeline. Otherwise, everything we test is going to have regressions on it, and we're going to be just chasing our tail. So, is he currently working on that, or is he just working on? I mean,
till now, he was working on have the deploy done, since all the changes we made, and we had some troubles with the deployment. And yeah, we would also be happy to have a continuous deployment, but it depends on you, of course. So you can discuss that with him as well. But he was working on deployment and on those stuff, and also was helping guys on backend.
Okay, I'll send you some times for
Sure.
later Monday afternoon when Fernando and I can kind of get a better understanding about exactly what Jagos is deploying, what the dependencies are, how he's going about that. So
Sure, no problem. Yeah, so those cards on Asana is the source of truth for us, and all the tickets which are here are for MVP, as it was decided also with Nasser. So yeah, I have also needed to give some estimations on those cards to Boris yesterday for must-haves, and all of those were true. I compared it with guys. Besides this one, because as Jakub told me, he would need to check it and test it more. If Jakub could relate, that would be great.
Yeah, the thing is that we deal with the legacy contracts, and in those contracts, you can only put on sale of the things created on Fayre, but not things created outside of Fayre. So that's what we need to fix. And it's a management flaw here, because you can put things on sale, but there is one bug that could be a separate card. So that's why before I mentioned that we could have like card of a bug type.
If you need help on that point, you could ask Luis. He has this experience with fixing that kind of issues on the smart contract.
No, it's not a problem of fixing it. I'm just mentioning that it would be easier if we had the bugs as separate cards so that we don't move the whole features to in progress just because of like some issues. Because we always have issues regarding some modules in the application. So that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So just feel free please, to also add any descriptions or so to current cards. Actually, a lot of those should be also be deployed early on the next week. Yeah, so you can check it out and test it. And we are relating to those acceptance criteria. We have, like for example, as here. And we are trying to split it up to tasks, right? We should also assign people who are working on those tasks to.
Yeah, I'll have to update it, I believe. Yeah, I've been working on it.
Because a few guys are working.
Some of them are already working, so I'll just have them checked.
Yeah, so a few guys are working on bidding functionality and notifications on backend right now. So we'll just assign those to the tickets, because we also have actually our internal Jira, because we need to log our time and so on. So those tasks are duplicated there as well. Yeah.
14 miles per
I think we should draw the meeting to a close and pick up on Monday. Although I have to say that we're not moving fast enough, and we're not happy at this point in time. I'm going to try and keep it as constructive as we can, but we need to impress upon you the urgency of improving the speed at which we ship the quality and the volume of software that we get out. The 27 working days till our intended launch date, and we are behind. So if there's any hours that you guys can fish out from anywhere, or that any way you can accelerate it, I'm not sensing an urgency from SkyGate, and we are feeling significant pressure at our end. We're committing massive marketing resources to making sure that we're going to be ready for this deadline on all our other fronts. And at the moment, we've got serious concerns about whether or not your team is going to hit the deadline. So we'll draw the meeting to a close, and please do everything you can to try and remedy that, and then let's get some improvements next week.
Okay.
Understood?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Thank you guys. Cheers. Bye bye.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.